Hello, my favorite student, and welcome back to my YouTube channel English with Speaker. My name is Tanya, and in today's lesson, we are going to learn how to carry any conversation, how to go through them smoothly and stay polite. And if you ever felt nervous, didn't know what to say, wanted to end up a discussion but didn't know how, well, here I am to help you. In this lesson, we are going to learn the phrases for when you agree with a person, when you somewhat agree, and when you completely disagree. Let's start with the first phrases, that is, when you agree. You may always say, I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. Or, I couldn't agree with you more. Or simply, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't agree more. And that means I completely agree with you. Jimmy said that people who save cats and dogs are unsung heroes. And I couldn't agree more. Next are, that's so true, and that's for sure. That's so true, that's for sure. She's always challenging Tim to do better at school. That's for sure. Next are very simple and obvious. You're absolutely right. Absolutely. Exactly. Or, that's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. Not only it is I agree with you, but you may also use it when someone else described your feelings accurately. For example, you know what? I give up. All these changes at work are driving me nuts. That's exactly how I feel, especially when they told us not to wear trousers at work. Next to, you may use when there are more than two people in a conversation or a discussion, and you want to point out that you agree with one person and disagree with another person. For example, I'm afraid I agree with James, or any other name. Or, I have to side with Johnny on this one. I have to side with Johnny on this one. And of course, instead of Johnny, any other name, any other person. You have a point here. You have a point here. And it means what you say makes sense. For example, ice cream, anyone? Well, we are having a reservation in that restaurant in 40 minutes. I'm afraid we might be too full to eat. You have a point there. Next one, and I was just going to say that. I was just going to say that. For when someone reads your mind. For example, oh, it's already 5. Isn't it time for us to set off? I was just going to say that. Or, in a heated discussion, what about all those poor puppies that people leave on the streets? Who will take care of them? Exactly. I was just going to say that. Me neither. Me neither. This is an agreement with a negative statement. For example, I thought she was going to have her hair cut. I didn't notice any changes. Me neither. Next one, don't use at work, or at business meetings, or anywhere formal. This is tell me about it. Tell me about it. He's driving me crazy with his comments about what I read. Tell me about it. I suppose so. I guess so. I suppose so. I guess so. These two are very weak phrases to agree with someone. Maybe you don't know all the facts. Maybe you're not interested in the topic. Maybe you just don't feel like talking about it. Black suits me better, doesn't it? I guess so. The next category, and when you somewhat disagree with another person, because in the arguments, or in different discussions, we don't always agree fully and we don't always disagree fully with a person. Sometimes they make a point that is very valuable and solid, but we do see some things there to discuss. So these phrases will help you for sure. The first one, and I understand your point of view, but. I understand your point of view, but. For example, I think you can only learn a language with a teacher. I understand your point of view, but you should work 100% too. Self-study, doing more exercises, some extra work. Number two, and it's almost as the first one, I agree with you up to a point. However, and then you just make the sentence. I agree with you up to a point. However, and a sentence. Next one, and I can see where you are coming from, but. I can see where you are coming from, but. When you use this phrase, you understand why this person has this particular opinion, but you just don't share it. I'm not going to the dentist again. I see where you are coming from, but there are better dentists that you have visited. I see what you mean, but. I see what you mean, but. You basically say, I understand what you are trying to explain, but I have a different opinion. If you eat less meat, less animals will be slaughtered. I see what you mean, but a human cannot live without meat. And finally, our group of phrases that you can use when you completely disagree with a person. You can always say, I don't think so. I don't think so. Or, I'm afraid I disagree. I'm afraid I disagree. I'm afraid is actually a very nice and polite way to reject something. As for example, when you're invited to a party, like, are you coming to the party? I'm afraid not. See, so you make it softer. Next one, and I beg to differ. I beg to differ. There's no talent in this boy. I beg to differ. Have you seen him in Game of Thrones? Some other alternatives are not necessarily. Not necessarily. That's not always the case. That's not always the case. That's not always true. That's not always true. No, I'm not so sure about that. No, I'm not so sure about that. And now we've come up to strong disagreements. Strong disagreements. I totally disagree. I totally disagree. No way. No way. I'd say the exact opposite. I'd say the exact opposite. He was ridiculous in Harry Potter. I'd say the exact opposite. He was brilliant. And the last one. This one is good because you express your disagreement and end the discussion. Well, we'll have to agree to disagree then. Well, we'll have to agree to disagree then. Or simply, let's agree to disagree. Let's agree to disagree. Or sometimes even shorter, like a question. Agree to disagree? Agree to disagree means that you accept that you have different opinions from another person about some particular subject, and you stop trying to persuade each other that you are right. And for this one, I'd like you to watch this episode.
So, who do you think won?
I think I won.
You have got to be kidding me. You know deep down that I won this game. Let's agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Great. Now you, my friend, are very well equipped to take part in any discussion and win it, be it at work or with your friends or with family. I'm so confident in you right now. If you enjoyed this lesson, click follow and like the video. It will help me to reach more people and help them with the English language. But that's it from me now. Thank you for being here with me today. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!